Alan, I always talk very good about Alan because I think he's in the best of the world. You know, who make an interview to me exaggerate a lot of things, and also didn't put all this through what I said, everything what I said. About Enzo, I have no rights to say anything. I only said is if he's 30 years younger than he is now, for sure Ferrari did not have the problem that they have now. You know, I think a man of 90 years, you have to be very strong also to run a team. But it's people make a lot of fuzzle and a lot of things about what I said. Maybe sometimes also I say exactly what I think and what is the truth, and sometimes I should not say exactly what is the truth, but what I should say what the people want to hear.
Watching the San Marino Grand Prix was the last non-turbo champion from 1982, Keke Rosberg. Did he think the atmospherics would have a chance against the turbo?
Michele Alboreto stalled on the warm-up lap and had to start from the back of the grid. Meantime, Ayrton Senna at the front on pole position leaves his teammate. Alain Prost sitting there with his wheels spinning. Senna gets away into the lead, but he just leaves his teammate Alain Prost sitting on the grid with his wheels spinning. Nelson Piquet got through into second place and Patrese into third, and they got through that third corner there without incident, remarkably, Sterling.
Yeah, it is quite staggering how these cars, there's enormous performance and the width of the cars, managed to file through there without hitting each other.
But it was Berger and then Prost we were starting to watch, because Prost would surely start to catch the cars in front of him. And that was Nelson Piquet holding second place, just ahead of Patrese, then Nannini, and there Ayrton Senna holding a great lead from his second pole position, and Berger went down the inside of Nannini to take fourth place, and Prost was about to attack down the inside, went Prost inside Nannini taking fifth place. So Prost starting to gather speed and steam.
And there's Capelli out. Not an engine this time, but a broken gearbox.
Meanwhile, Alain Prost was still charging, looking around the outside of Berger there at Tossa, changing his mind, going down the inside, up the hill, trying to get the fourth place. And he did it. He did it in spectacular fashion, but he's well behind Senna, Sterling.
Yes, but it's some very, very tight racing. These guys are changing their line to get the advantage on the next corner. Now look at this one, for instance.
That was Nannini retaking Berger and getting fifth place. Berger forced up onto the curbs there, and Prost was closing in on Piquet, who thought he was safe. But Prost had already taken Patrese and he was in third place, now challenging for that second position. Patrese down there in fourth. Honda v Honda. Brazilian against the Frenchman, down on the inside. Alain Prost, a beautiful manoeuvre on the inside this time going into the corner. And Nelson Piquet snaking a little bit there as he's demoted to third position.
This is what Keke Rosberg was talking about, a really good dice amongst the cars without the turbochargers. And look at the ethical way they're driving. I mean, they're doing a really good job here. They're passing and repassing.
And here, back at the front in third place, Piquet, he was held up by one of the Tyrrells. Look at that. You were talking about clean driving before, but he was definitely held up there. And behind him, closing in, was the Benetton of Alessandro Nannini. He has to go around the outside, Sterling. That wasn't clean.
That was, though. The second part was. Not now. They're getting really quite tight in there.
Piquet and Nannini were banging wheels there in that hard dice for third place. And close behind him, behind Nannini, was Boutsen, and he was being threatened by Mansell. Mansell went alongside. That was DFR against the Judd engine, and Mansell just slipped through, past and into fifth position. So Boutsen was demoted, but there he was, driving exceptionally well, as he did in Brazil. Piquet holding his third place, Alessandro Nannini behind him in fourth, and then Boutsen in fifth place.
And then Nannini in fourth place. It was just too much. The pressure was just too much fighting like that with Piquet. But he turned it round well and get going again.
A fine rally-type spin, power spin from Nannini, and there's Mansell. He went into third place from Piquet. That was very cheeky from a normally aspirated car, kicking up a bit of dust in Piquet's face to boot. But Piquet was not having any of this. His turbo car was not going to be beaten by the Judd, and he closed right in, followed Mansell closely, and he dived alongside, under braking, closely watched by Boutsen now. And Piquet retook third place, Mansell down to fourth place, and then Boutsen was in fifth position, but it was like this close all the way through. But Mansell suddenly slowed, and the two Benettons went through, and Mansell, hand up, engine problems, back to the pits. Another one.
To make up for his disappointment of losing the race before. And this is his first win, of course, in the McLaren. But not far behind him is Prost, who, if he'd had a slightly better start, you never know, it could have been a much closer race.
Yes, indeed, it was the first 1-2 of the year for McLaren. Senna first, and Prost was second. Third was Nelson Piquet in the Lotus. Fourth, Thierry Boutsen. Fifth, Gerhard Berger, and sixth, Alessandro Nannini. But Senna thought Prost could have threatened more.
And God knows what would happen, so I don't feel that happy that things went the way they went.
Monte